Hi everyone, I'm Jet from JNR Production J. Carn Bustox and my music next year. Welcome to Stormscapes episode 385. So right now it's 6:58 Eastern Daylight Time, so here's going to be some updates on Hurricane Lee in this episode of Stormscapes. So let's get started. So I'm going to be reading this article here from weather.com. I'm going to link that in the chat right now. We'll go check it out. It says Hurricane Lee to bring strong winds, rain, and coastal flooding to New England, Canada. At a glance, Lee is a growing hurricane and is moving north. Bermuda will see rain, strong winds, and high surf Thursday, which is today. Thursday, September 14th, 2023. Wind, rain, and coastal flooding will impact New England, Atlantic Canada by Saturday. Much of the East Coast is seeing high surf and rip currents from these swells. Hurricane Lee is on the move north through the western Atlantic, and its large size means that it will spread strong winds, rain, and coastal flooding far from its center to eastern New England and Atlantic Canada by this weekend. Lee is also producing rip currents and high surf along much of the East Coast, providing another example of how hurricanes can be a danger for beachgoers far away from where a storm is tracking. What's the latest on Lee? Lee is a large hurricane centered several hundred miles south of Nantucket, Massachusetts, and is moving to the north. So the satellite is at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in Bermuda, right there. Hurricane Lee. Enhanced satellite, the highest cloud tops corresponding to the most vigorous convection are shown in dark red and pink colors. Clustering deep convection around the center is a sign of a healthy tropical cyclone. Lee is now Category 1, but that's not as much of an attention grabber as its size. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 105 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend up to 345 miles. That's a large wind field for a hurricane. At 52 miles per hour wind gusts, a 52 mile per hour wind gust was recently reported in Bermuda. This is the wind field, so the orange means storm, purple means hurricane, so Bermuda is an orange storm. Obviously we get closer to the center, purple hurricane, but Bermuda is like in the storm, orange storm. And the orange circle shows the extent of the system's tropical storm force winds at least 39 miles per hour. The purple circle indicates the extent of hurricane force winds, at least 74 miles per hour according to the National Hurricane Center. Here's the latest watches and warnings for Lee. A hurricane watch has been issued from Stonington, Maine to Port Lepre. A hurricane watch has been issued from Stonington, Maine to Port Lepre, to Point Lepre. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry for pronouncing that wrong, but yeah. Hurricane watch has been issued from Stonington, Maine to Point Lepre, New Brunswick, and again, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And also from Digby to Medway Harbor, Nova Scotia, including Yarmouth. That means hurricane conditions are possible in these areas within 48 hours. A tropical storm warning has been issued for the coast of Massachusetts from Westport, Massachusetts, northward to the Canadian border, including Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket. A tropical storm warning is also in effect for Bermuda. In Canada, a tropical storm watch is in effect from Point Lepre. Again, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Yeah, in Canada, a tropical storm watch is in effect for Point Lepre. Again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. To Fort Lawrence, New Brunswick, as well as much of Nova Scotia, including Halifax. That means tropical storm conditions are possible in these areas within 48 hours. So, got this map right here. It says Hurricane Lee, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, purple means hurricane warning, red tropical storm warning, orange hurricane watch, yellow tropical storm watch. So you have this red tropical storm warning going from basically eastern Massachusetts here, eastern Massachusetts, southeastern New Hampshire, and then like all of like eastern coastal Maine, touching the Canadian border, and looks like includes cities like Boston, Portland, and Bangor. Newport's not in there, but it is pretty close though. But yeah, it's like basically like eastern Massachusetts all the way up, coastal Maine, eastern Maine, touching the Atlantic, touching the Canadian U.S. border. And also we have a hurricane watch. It looks like here in like southeastern Canada, again like touching the U.S. Canadian border, as well as this part of Canada here as well, like including Yarmouth. And then we also have some tropical storm watches, including like St. John and Halifax. That part of Canada right there. Here's where Lee will go the next few days. Lee is now en route towards the Gulf of Maine or the waters near eastern New England and western Atlantic Canada, and will arrive by Saturday. Lee's peak winds are expected to continue stepping down. That's because it will encounter cooler water, partly induced by upwelling from Hurricane Franklin and the remnants of Idalia. Drier air, higher wind shear, and eventually will also pass north of the warm Gulf Stream into even cooler water. Even though the hurricane will weaken, its wind field will be very large, which means impacts will extend far outside the forecast path shown below. The hurricane leaves at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Current information, 85 miles per hour, moving north at 15 miles per hour. Lee's impacts will extend well outside forecast path. So, this is where Lee's forecasted to go. By Friday p.m., 85 miles per hour. Saturday p.m., 70 miles per hour. Sunday p.m., 45 miles per hour. Monday p.m., 40 miles per hour. So it looks like a little bit like northeastern Maine, or like that part of Maine right there, and then going over southeastern Canada, Atlantic Canada. But Lee's impact will extend well outside the forecast path. Current status and forecast path. The red shade area denotes potential path of the center of a tropical cyclone. It's important to note that impacts, particularly heavy rain, high surf, coastal flooding winds, with any tropical cyclone, usually spread beyond its forecast path. Here's a look at potential impacts in New England. Wind, rain, and coastal flood impacts will arrive by late Friday and especially Saturday, but the extent of those impacts will be determined by the exact path of Lee. The forecast track for Lee has shifted a bit east over the past day or so, which means its strongest winds and heaviest rain could be confirmed from immediate coastal areas of Massachusetts and New Hampshire to Maine. Here's a look at what we know right now. Wind threat. Tropical storm force wind gusts 39 miles per hour or greater are possible in far eastern New England. There is a possibility that Lee's winds in combination with saturated soils could down trees and knock out power in some areas, especially in far eastern New England, because they've been getting a lot of rain in New England, like a lot of rain. That's why the soil is so saturated, and again, possibly, with Lee's winds in combination in saturated soils can knock down trees and power lines in some areas, especially in far eastern New England. And then, the tropical storm force winds possibilities. Timing is most likely arrival of tropical storm force winds. So the green is 20 miles per hour, light yellow The green is 20% for tropical storm force winds possibilities. Light yellow 30%, dark yellow 40%, light orange 50%, dark orange 60%, light red 70%, dark red 80%, the purple is 90%. So it looks like for Plymouth, looks like mainly for eastern Massachusetts, Cape Cod, it looks like we got 20% tropical storm force winds possibilities. Well, for parts of coastal Maine, we do have a little bit of 30%, even 40% or 50, or even 50% for northeastern coastal Maine touching the U.S. Canadian border. as well as looks like Canada, like some parts 20%, 30%, but like the farther you go to the coast, like I'm seeing like possibly like 40, 50%, maybe even 60% for tropical storm force wind possibilities. Yeah, it looks like for Halifax we got like 50% for tropical storm force wind possibilities, and like even though like this part of Canada, right here, like 80%, or at least 70%, because in the red for tropical storm, 70% for tropical storm force wind possibilities. Wow. And then by Friday 8 this is what it looks like in this, and it's still going to be over the Atlantic, but between Friday 8 a.m. and Friday 8 p.m., and then between Friday 8 p.m. and Saturday 8 a.m., it's going to be affecting, looks like, eastern Massachusetts, Cape Cod, tropical storm force winds possibilities, and then by Saturday 8 a.m., Saturday 8 p.m., we got parts of like coastal Maine, and then Canada, and then Saturday 8 p.m. And then it says the contours above show the chance of tropical storm force winds at least 39 miles per hour, and when they could first arrive, according to the latest forecast by National Hurricane Center. Storm surge threat. Coastal flooding and large pounding surf are also likely impacts from coastal Massachusetts to Maine. Storm surge of 1 to 3 feet is possible along much of the New England coast and along Long Island. Peak storm surge forecast above ground level if peak surge occurs at high tide. So, around Long Island looks like 1 to 2 feet, and then 1 to 2 feet, like I'm seeing 1 to 2 feet around Long Island, and we have 1 to 3 for like southern Connecticut, Rhode Island, and then like, Cape Cod, eastern Massachusetts, southeastern New Hampshire, and then like all the way up coastal Maine, 1 to 3 feet. Rainfall flooding potential. Lee could produce rainfall amounts of 1 to 4 inches in far eastern New England. The region has been soaked over the past week, so any heavier rainfall could cause localized flooding. Rainfall forecast through Sunday. So, definitely like all this green here, like even a little bit of yellow looks like in parts of like, coastal Maine, like northeastern Maine. And even like Atlantic Canada, a lot more rain, darker greens I'm seeing. A lot of rain. Around some lighter green, looks like in Bermuda, and like lighter green in Boston, but yeah, that's going to be problematic considering how much rain they've had in New England, and getting more again could possibly lead to localized flooding and down trees and power lines, like we've mentioned before. Here's what to expect in Atlantic Canada. Much like eastern New England, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, we'll likely see heavy rain, strong winds, high surf, and coastal flooding develop by Friday night or Saturday and continue into Saturday night or early Sunday. Interest in all of the above-mentioned locations should continue to monitor Lee's forecast closely. Dangerous surf rip currents will occur along most of the East Coast. Swells generated by Lee are already affecting a large part of the East Coast. That means high surf, rip currents, coastal flooding, and even beach erosion could occur along parts of the coast. Keep this in mind if you live near or plan to head to the Atlantic beaches this week. Stay out of the water, especially if red flags are flying at the beach. So Lee's high surf late week, generates high surf, rip currents. So we have like all this lighter green, blue color. So definitely like there's been like a lot of rip currents. And again, stay out of the water, especially if red flags are flying at the beach. Because there's definitely a lot of high surf, rip currents, coastal flooding, even beach erosion occurring along parts of the coast. And again, stay out of the water, especially if red flags are flying at the beach, because also around this time of year, just generally, there's no lifeguards on duty, since, kind of the end of, beach season, tourist season. We're starting to head into fall. So definitely, please be careful out there and don't go in the water, especially if red flags are flying. Lee's history so far, Lee became the 13th storm of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season last Tuesday afternoon, and the 4th hurricane of the season last Wednesday afternoon. That was over a week ahead of the average 4th hurricane pace of September 16th, according to National Hurricane Center data. Lee's track history and water temperatures. So yellow means depression, orange means storm, red means hurricane, and then the pink means category 3+ hurricane. So, when first started out as a depression, then it was a storm, then a hurricane, then it was Category 3 hurricane, it reached Category 5 status and Category 4 status at some point, and then turned back into below Category 3, and then went above Category 3 plus, because I believe it turned into Category 3, and at some points was a Category 4 again, and then now it's hurricane, currently a Category 1 status, and Lee then just underwent explosive rapid intensification, going from a Category 1 to a Category 5 hurricane in just 18 hours last Thursday, like we've been talking about in recent live streams we've been doing about Hurricane Lee. Only 3 other Atlantic hurricanes since 1982 have seen their winds increase by 80 miles per hour in just 24 hours or less since 1982. Most recently, Matthew in 2016, it was the fastest 24-hour intensification anywhere in the Atlantic Basin outside the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea in just 41 years, according to Kiran Bhatia, Princeton University scientist. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. And this is from Fly On. Again, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, on Twitter. Nice light and showing the eye of Hurricane Lee this morning. And it's on September 7th, 2023. I know I've showed this video a couple of times, but I'll show it off again now. Yeah, look at that, though. Wow. Sustained winds of 160 miles per hour were recorded by Hurricane Reconnaissance last Thursday evening, making it the first Category 5 hurricane since Ian in 2022. Prior to Lee, only 39 other Atlantic hurricanes have reached Category 5 intensity over the past 100 years. Lee quickly weakened to a Category 2 on Saturday because of increased wind shear. It then gained strength again late Sunday and returned to Category 3 intensity. And now currently, as it stands, it is a Category 1 right now. So now I'm going to refresh this page here, and we're going to look at the radar of Hurricane Lee. Excuse all the random ads that just come up. So basically I'm going to be trying to look at Hurricane Lee basically from the last 24 hours or so. So this is where Hurricane Lee was yesterday at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, September 13th, 2023, which was yesterday. It was Category 2 at that time. Max winds were 105 miles per hour. It was moving north-northwest at 10 miles per hour. And then on September 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, it was still Category 2 status. Max winds are 105 miles per hour, moving north-northwest at 9 miles per hour. And then at 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, September 13th, 2023, and yesterday, still Category 2 status at this time. Max winds were 105 miles per hour, moving was north at 9 miles per hour. And then, still Category 2 status, this, September 14th, 2023, which is today, at 2 a.m., So, Hurricane Lee was still Category 2 status at 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on September 14th, 2023, which is today. Max winds were 100 miles per hour at this time. Movement was north at 9 miles per hour. And then at 5 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time today, September 14th, 2023, it was still Category 2 status at this time. Max winds were 100 miles per hour. Movement was north at 9 miles per hour. And then at 8 a.m., still Eastern Daylight Time, still Category 2 status at this time. Max winds were 100 miles per hour. Movement was north at 12 miles per hour. And then this is at 11 a.m. this morning, Eastern Daylight Time. So between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., it went down to Category 1 status. which is where it's at right now. So max winds were 90 miles per hour. Moon was north at 14 miles per hour. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so about 5 hours ago, because 7:18 Eastern Daylight Time right now, it's Category 1 Hurricane Lee. Max winds are 85 miles per hour. Movement was north at 14 miles per hour. Excuse me. And then Category 1 Hurricane Lee, this is the latest advisory. At 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, max winds were 85 miles per hour. Movement north at 15 miles per hour. And then this is going to be on September 15th, 2023, 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so that's tomorrow. Category 1 Hurricane Lee, max winds 85 miles per hour, moving north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. And then this is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Category 1 Hurricane Lee, max winds 85 miles per hour, moving north-northeast at 20 miles per hour. And then this is going to be, I think I just skipped one. So that's going to be So this is Category 1 Hurricane Lee, and it's tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Maximum will be 85 miles per hour, movement will be north-northeast at 20 miles per hour. And then Category 1 Hurricane Lee is this will be the forecast time, September 16th, 2023. 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, maximum 80 miles per hour, movement north at 20 miles per hour. And then, it'll be post-tropical cyclone Lee on September 16, 2023 at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's the forecast time. Max winds this time are predicted to be 70 miles per hour, moving north-northeast at 15 miles per hour. And then, it's over Canada, it looks like. It'll be post-tropical cyclone Lee, September 17th, 2023 at 3 a.m. Atlantic Daylight Time, or 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Max winds 50 miles per hour. Movement will be northeast at 15 miles per hour. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, it will be post-tropical cyclone Lee still. Max winds 45 miles per hour, moving east-northeast at 20 miles per hour. And then on September 18th, 2023 at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, it will be post-tropical cyclone Lee. Max winds 40 miles per hour, moving will be east-northeast at 30 miles per hour. And I guess after that, it will probably dissipate. But I know I've been talking about this. I talked about this in the live stream I did yesterday, episode 384 of Stormscapes. Hurricane Lee, or just Lee, has been going on since September 5th. And it's probably going to dissipate on September 18th, it looks like. This storm has been going on for almost 2 weeks now. It'll be just shy of 2 weeks. It's been a very long track storm. Very long track. Look at this. It's just been a very long track storm. Very long track. Been going for almost 2 weeks now. Or will be 2 weeks, it looks like. So, yeah. Very long track storm. Been streaming for 23 minutes now. So we'll take a look at Portland, Maine here. I'm going to look at the hourly here first. We do a tropical storm warning in effect in this area. So it looks like it's going to be at 8, 9, 10, and 11 tonight. It's only going to be partly cloudy. Precipitation will be 1%. 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., partly cloudy. Precipitation 1, 2, 3, 4% here, mostly cloudy. 6 a.m., mostly cloudy. 7 a.m., mostly cloudy, 4% precipitation. 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., and 1 p.m., cloudy, 4%, 3%, 1%, 0% precipitation. And then, you have cloudy throughout the afternoon, 0 to 1% precipitation. Then we get 4 at 11 p.m. This is for Portland, Maine. And then for Saturday, September 16th, we got 12 a.m., cloudy, 6% precipitation. 1 a.m., cloudy, 8% precipitation. 2 a.m., cloudy, 21% precipitation. 3 a.m., cloudy, 21% precipitation. And then 4 a.m., cloudy and wind, 24% precipitation. But, before that, it still is pretty windy. Before that, it's still pretty windy, but it looks like the winds just, they start escalating. They start picking up tomorrow, it looks like, and then, it's going to get really, really windy as, Hurricane Lee comes in. And then, 6 a.m., showers and wind. We see a bunch of showers and wind, light rain, wind, and then 10 a.m., rain, wind, and then precipitations like, 24%, 40%, 58%, 53%, 63%, 75%, 80%, 73%, 56%, 41%, and then, like, the wind, it's like 17 miles per hour, 18 miles per hour, 19 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, 22 miles per hour, 23 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour, 26 miles per hour, 29 miles per hour, 30, 32, 30 miles per hour, 31, 28, 28, 26. So yeah, really, really windy. Shower, and then 1 p.m. showers and wind, 56%. 2 p.m. showers and wind, 41%. 3 p.m. few showers, wind, 34%, and then 4 p.m. showers, wind, 35%, and then 5, 6, and 7 p.m. cloudy and wind, 24%, 23%, 19% precipitation. But, wind will still be like, 28 miles per hour, 26 miles per hour, 24, 23 miles per hour. And this is in Portland, Maine. We're going to look at Boston, Massachusetts next. Also under tropical storm warning. So yeah, throughout the night, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy. Throughout the good majority of the day tomorrow, looks like it'll be cloudy. And then by 2 a.m., September 16th, we have few showers, 33%, and again, it's still pretty windy in Boston, even before Hurricane Lee. Still quite windy. But yeah, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., few showers, 32, 33% precipitation. 4 a.m., cloudy, wind, 24% precipitation. And then 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., few showers, wind, 31, 32, 30% precipitation. 8 a.m., cloudy, wind, 24%. 9 a.m., cloudy, wind, 24% precipitation. 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. So like maybe it's like showers, wind, cloudy, wind. 35, 38, 47, 35, 18, 16% precipitation. 6 p.m., cloudy, wind, 8% precipitation. So like mainly it's like, cloudy and wind. I mean, like, live winds, 25 miles per hour, 26 miles per hour, 24 miles per hour, 21, 20 miles per hour, 19 miles per hour. Cloudy and wind, 7 p.m., just cloudy, 8 miles per hour, but the wind is still like at 19 miles per hour, so still quite windy. We're also going to now look at Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, Canada as well, which had a hurricane watch in effect. So, yeah, throughout the night, looks like it's mainly going to be cloudy, even though at 12 a.m. foggy. But yeah, cloudy, 12 a.m. foggy. And then it looks like beginning at 6 p.m. tomorrow for Yarmouth. Yeah, not Yarmouth. Yeah. So, yeah, we're looking at Yarmouth now. Like I mentioned before, cloudy, 12 a.m. foggy, cloudy, cloudy, cloudy. Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, Canada. And then by 6 p.m. tomorrow, we got showers, 47%. The winds are between 11 and 12 miles per hour. 7 p.m. light rain, 8 p.m. light rain, 9 p.m. rain, 10 p.m. rain, 11 p.m. rain, 12 a.m. wind, rain and wind, 47%, 68%, 77%, 83%, 90%, 92%, 95%, 98, 97, 96, and then just rain and wind throughout the morning. Rain and wind, rain and wind, rain and wind. 29, 31, 32, 35, 34, 35, 36, 36, 36, and this is all like miles per hour as well. Rainfall in inches. But yeah, rain and wind, rain and wind, rain and wind. You know, like 89%, 91%, 95%. And actually, we'll look at this on Google. So this is what, you know, so the weather for Nova Scotia, Canada, you know, again, hurricane watch in effect, and again, next several hours, you know, just cloudy and stuff, even though it is quite windy. So, you know, 3 miles per hour, 5 kilometers, 3 miles per hour, 5 kilometers per hour, and then, you know, the winds pick up 14 kilometers per hour, 16 kilometers per hour, 18 kilometers per hour. You know, Friday is mostly cloudy. Winds definitely do start picking up, and then, you know, we said at 6 p.m. Looks like there's starting to be rain, light rain, and then, you know, we start getting more rain. Wind starts picking up, especially on Saturday. Like, you know, just wind and rain. Wind 23 miles per hour, or 37 kilometers per hour. Wind and rain, wind and rain. I mean, you know, 37 miles per hour wind, 60 kilometers per hour. Saturday 2 p.m. wind and rain. It'll go on for several hours, basically all day. And then Sunday, you know, we still have showers, but still quite windy, 25 miles per hour, or 40 kilometers per hour. Sunday 5 a.m. You know, chance of showers 8 a.m. 32% precipitation, even though wind will still be 23 miles per hour, 37 kilometers per hour. And then looks like it'll clear up after, but it'll still be quite windy. And I could imagine there definitely could be I could definitely imagine that, like, you know, there also will be a recovery process for this as well. It's gonna be it's gonna be a really bad. It's gonna be pretty intense. All the wind, rain. Yeah, and actually I was watching a Word Channel earlier, and they had, like, Justin Michaels, out there reporting, in Portland, Maine, and literally, like, they had to take the boats out of the water and put them on land. But even, and they're doing that past few days, but even just, like, when they do that, it's like these are, like, really, really heavy, really big boats. And I imagine, like, a bunch of, like, marinas, a bunch of docks, like, all across, like, New England and probably up into Canada as well, probably to take the boats out of the water and put them on land. But still, though, like, there is a chance of storm surge and some pretty bad flooding, you know, with the storm. So definitely, like, it's still just, again, a lot of concern. I mean, these boats could possibly be swept away, you know, because, again, all the storm surge and possibly some really bad flooding and really heavy winds as well. We're now going to look at the weather for Machias, Maine. They have a tropical storm warning. So yeah, again, cloudy, 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 cloudy. And then 12 a.m., 1 a.m., we're seeing showers here, 53%, 59%, 75, and then by 2 a.m., rain, 75%, rain and wind, 91% precipitation, 93% precipitation, 99, 98, 95, 96, 100, rain and wind, rain and wind, rain and wind, like, all throughout the morning, in the afternoon, into the night, Saturday, September 16th. And then winds are, like, you know, 30 miles per hour, 31 miles per hour, 32 miles per hour, 33 miles per hour, 29, 27, 29, 26, 24, 21. And we'll actually look at the weather for Machias, Maine right now. So yeah, we've got coastal flood warning, northern Maine. So yeah, winds, again, they definitely start picking up. And then by Saturday, you know, just, you know, shower that first, but winds are 14 miles per hour, or 23 kilometers per hour, then they start picking up to 24 miles per hour, 39 kilometers per hour, and then just wind and rain, wind and rain, wind and rain. I mean, 33 miles per hour for wind, or 53 kilometers per hour, wind and rain, wind and rain, wind and rain, wind and rain. Sunday, we have showers, but winds are still 21 miles per hour, 34 kilometers per hour, and chance of showers Sunday 4 a.m. Precipitation 33%, but wind still 14 miles per hour, 23 kilometers per hour, and again, still quite windy throughout the day in Machias, Maine. And again, I could definitely imagine a recovery process as well. We'll now look at Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm streaming for 35 minutes now. Tropical storm watch in this area. They have cloudy. There's like some chance of showers and light rain and rain. In Nova Scotia, it looks like for the next few hours. It looks like at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. No, a chance of showers and rain in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. And then 3 a.m., 4 a.m., showers, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. So it looks like they're going to be quite rainy tomorrow, even though the winds are like 3 miles per hour, 2 miles per hour, 3, 4. So winds look relatively, like, pretty calm for, like, tomorrow morning. Mainly it's, like, just showers and cloudy and stuff. 5 p.m. showers, 46% precipitation, wind 5 miles per hour. And then, 6 p.m. light rain, 7 p.m. rain, 8 p.m. rain, 9 p.m. rain, 10 p.m. rain, 11 p.m. rain, 12 a.m. rain, 1 a.m. rain. So, yeah, rain, 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 rain. Wind definitely starts picking up, and then by 4 a.m. on Saturday, rain and wind 21 miles per hour, rain and wind 22 miles per hour, rain and wind 24 miles per hour, 25, 20, 27, 28, rain and wind, rain and wind, rain and wind, light rain and wind, rain and wind, light rain, light rain and wind, wind at 28, 30, 29 miles per hour. We'll look at the weather for Halifax now. So yeah, definitely they're going to have some rain overnight tonight, looks like, and some showers possibly tomorrow. And then it looks like it's going to be cloudy for a little bit. And then, 8 p.m., light rain. And then, we get rain and the wind starts picking up. And then, rain, thunderstorm. 8 a.m. Saturday, Halifax Regional Municipality. Yeah, Halifax Regional Municipality. Yeah, Halifax Regional Municipality. Nova Scotia, Canada. So yeah, thunderstorm. Saturday 8 a.m. from what Google saying. Winds will be 32 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, so the wind is definitely picking up. Wind and rain. I mean, wind at 24 miles per hour, 39 kilometers per hour. Wind and rain, or showers. Then more wind and rain on Sunday, and then showers, light rain. Wind's calming down, but still 15 miles per hour, 24 kilometers per hour. And then mostly cloudy, probably cloudy, so winds start calming down, but, still 13 kilometers per hour, or 8 miles per hour. And again, I could definitely imagine, again, recovery efforts underway at that point as well to recover from this. So now we're going to look at St. John. Excuse all the random weather ads that come up. Or all the random ads that come up. I mean, that one just happens to be for weather, but... Yeah, so this is for St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. We'll put that into Google as well. So yeah, right now it's fog. They also have tropical storm watch as well. Cloudy, cloudy, cloudy. Mostly cloudy. Cloudy. Cloudy, cloudy. And then once, Saturday, September 16th, 12 a.m. light rain. And then 1 a.m. light rain. By 2 a.m. rain, 4 a.m. rain and wind. Winds start picking up. We go from 11 miles per hour, 12, 14, 16, all the way up to 22 miles per hour by 4 a.m., 24 miles per hour. And then, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., rain and wind, 26, 28, 29, 30 miles per hour, more 30 miles per hour, 29 miles per hour, rain and wind, 30 miles per hour, 29 miles per hour, and then looks like all day tomorrow is going to be pretty cloudy, and then, by like midnight, it looks like we're going to start getting some light rain, and then some more rain. Winds are going to start picking up, 14 miles per hour at 2 a.m. Saturday, according to Google, or 23 kilometers per hour for the wind, and then, 5 a.m. wind and rain, 24 miles per hour, 39 kilometers per hour, 47 kilometers per hour, or 29 miles per hour by Saturday, 8 a.m., Saturday, 11 a.m., 30 miles per hour, 48 miles per hour again. 30 miles per hour or 48 kilometers per hour. Sorry about that. Wind and rain. More wind and rain. Wind 31 miles per hour or 50 kilometers per hour, 51 kilometers per hour, or 32 miles per hour for Saturday, 5 p.m. And then, wind 29 miles per hour, 47 kilometers per hour. And then, by Saturday, 11 p.m., still wind and rain, 22 miles per hour for wind, or 35 kilometers per hour. 35 kilometers per hour, 22 miles per hour, Sunday, 2 a.m. And we have some light rain, but still heavy winds, 21 miles per hour, or 34 kilometers per hour. More light rain again. So winds start coming down, but still quite windy, 16 miles per hour, 26 miles per hour. Showers, 16 miles per hour, 26 kilometers per hour for wind. And then, probably cloudy, but still quite windy, and then winds look like they'll eventually calm down into Monday. But again, could imagine, recovery effort from this storm. We're going to read off some of the watches here. So we're going to read off the Tropical Storm Watch for St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. And it says, description, tropical storm force winds, possible 70 gusting to 100 kilometers per hour. Overexposed areas from Hurricane Lee may occur over the above regions. These conditions would occur Saturday. Additionally, heavy surf and storm surge is expected along the Nova Scotia Atlantic coast portion of the watch area. By nature, a tropical storm also implies the threat of local flooding from heavy rain. Consult your local area forecast for possible rainfall warnings. Please continue to monitor alerts issued by the Atlantic Hurricane Center and forecasts issued by Environment Canada. Reports of storm conditions and impacts can be emailed directly to nsstorm@ec.gc.ca or by tweeting reports by province using hashtag NSStorm, hashtag MBSStorm, hashtag PEStorm, hashtag NLWX, hashtag QCStorm, or hashtag ONStorm. We also have some tropical storm statements and a special air quality statement as well, which I guess we'll read that one off. And the affected area for that is St. John and County. Description, elevated pollution levels are expected or occurring. Smoke from a fire in downtown St. John is reducing air quality across parts of the city. Locations, downtown St. John. Time span continuing tonight. Short range wind forecast. Light southwesterly winds becoming northerly overnight. Remarks. An industrial fire on the St. John waterfront is causing significant concentrations of smoke and reduced air quality in the vicinity of the fire, as well as along the waterfront in the downtown area. Please adhere to any instructions from local authorities. Individuals may experience symptoms such as increased coughing, throat irritation, headaches, or shortness of breath. Children, seniors, and those with cardiovascular or lung disease, such as asthma, are especially at risk. Please visit airhealth.ca for information on how to reduce your health risk and your personal contribution to pollution levels, as well as for current and forecast AQHI values. Please continue to monitor alerts and forecasts issued by Environment Canada. And now we're going to look at the alerts now for Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, Canada. They do a hurricane watch there, so we're going to read this off. The affected area is for Yarmouth County. Description: there's a possibility that Hurricane Lee could bring near hurricane conditions. These conditions would occur Saturday. Wind could gust up as high as 120 kilometers an hour. Heavy surf and storm surge is expected from the Yarmouth County shoreline to the Queens County shoreline portion of the watch area. A storm surge warning will likely be issued for this region. By nature, a hurricane also implies the threat of local flooding from heavy rain. Consult your local area forecast for possible rainfall warnings. Please continue to monitor alerts issued by the Canadian Hurricane Center and forecasts issued by Environment Canada. Reports of storm conditions and impacts can be emailed directly to nsstorm@ec.gc.ca or by tweeting reports by province using hashtag NSStorm, hashtag NBStorm, hashtag PEStorm, hashtag NLWX, or hashtag QCStorm, or hashtag ONStorm. And then we also have a tropical storm statement as well. We also have one for St. John, New Brunswick as well. I'm going to read this one off. Excuse all the random ads that come up. It says, the affected area of Yarmouth County, the description next information statement will be issued at 9 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time. Hurricane Lee moving into western Nova Scotia, southern New Brunswick Saturday with heavy rains, high winds, and large waves, then weakening quickly Saturday night with lingering conditions on Sunday. Intensity classification approaching Category 1 hurricane, becoming a tropical storm, then transforming into post-tropical low while making landfall anywhere from Grand Manan Island, New Brunswick to Shelburne County, Nova Scotia, Saturday evening. Summary of basic information at 3 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time. Location: 31.1 degrees north, 68.1 degrees west, about 355 kilometers west-southwest of Bermuda. Max sustained winds 140 kilometers per hour. Present movement north around 21 kilometers per hour. Minimum central pressure 959 millibars. 2. Public weather impacts and warning summary. A hurricane watch is in effect for Grand Manan and coastal Charlotte County in New Brunswick, and Digby, Yarmouth, Shelburne, and Queens counties in Nova Scotia. A tropical storm watch is in effect for St. John County, Fundy National Park, and Moncton, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, and southeast New Brunswick, as well as Annapolis, Kings, Lunenburg, and Hants counties, Halifax Metro and Halifax County West, Cumberland County, Minas Shore and Colchester County, Coquid Bay in Nova Scotia. Sorry if I'm pronouncing any of these wrong. This will likely be upgraded to a warning tonight. The circulation of Hurricane Lee will be quite broad as it reaches our region, so impacts will occur not only near the track, but up to 300 kilometers away from it. Note, in addition to Lee, the maritime provinces are experiencing bands of trailing downpours traveling from southwest and northeast throughout the day today and Friday. These bands are notoriously difficult to predict, but it is important to understand there is a flooding risk with these bands well before the arrival of Lee. I was just getting a drink and checking on something, but yeah, near 30 millimeters had fallen In short order so far today in Digby area, these complex effects are indirectly related to the hurricane. Additional rainfall from Lee itself could exacerbate the flooding of risk. A wind, most likely region for worst impact, western Nova Scotia, as well as Grand Manan and coastal Charlotte County region of New Brunswick. Areas under the tropical storm watch could see sustained winds of 60 kilometers per hour with gusts of 90 to 100 kilometers per hour possible. Areas under the hurricane watch will likely see the strongest winds, potential gusts of 120 kilometers per hour. Winds of that strength this time of year would result in some tree damage and utility interruptions. B. Rainfall. Heaviest rainfall threat has shifted eastward a bit and now runs through central New Brunswick, and northward into the Gas region. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And the lower Quebec North Shore, we have extended this bulletin rainfall threat northeastward to Blanc, Cheblon, Quebec. The risk of heavy rain is decreasing but still exists for the Rimsky and Temiscouata area. Again, sorry if I'm saying any of those wrong. Rainfall totals in excess of 100 millimeters are possible, especially in areas to the left of the track. Note, western Nova Scotia rainfall risk has increased. There could be heavy amounts in the vicinity of the track itself, with early indication of possibly 75 millimeters directly from Lee. This, combined with rain that is falling there today, increases the vulnerability to flooding in that area. See surge in waves. High waves and elevated water levels will be widespread due to the large size of the storm. The most impacted areas likely occurring much of the Atlantic. The most impacted areas likely covering much of the Atlantic coast of mainland Nova Scotia, and to a much lesser extent the Fundy coast of New Brunswick. Wave conditions could also become rough in areas in the southwestern Gulf of St. Lawrence, western Northumberland, Strat, but should remain below warning criteria. For Atlantic coastal Nova Scotia, breaking waves of 4 to 6 meters, 15 to 20 feet are likely. Elevated water levels, storm surge combined with waves could result in coastal flooding during the high tide, late morning to noon, Saturday in Shelburne County, then during the high tide, late Saturday evening along the coast from Queens County to eastern Halifax County. It is during this late Saturday period where a storm surge warning may be required, but water levels up to 1 meter, 3 feet above high tide is possible. Consider this statement as effectively as a watch. 3. Marine weather impacts and warning summary. Greatest waves and wind are expected around the Bay of Fundy, Gulf of Maine, Southwest Maritimes Marine District. Gale and storm warnings are in effect for southwestern marine areas beginning late in the day on Friday. Hurricane force winds are likely to impact southwestern waters on Saturday and potentially lurcher for a brief period on the west side of the storm. Forecaster for Fogarty, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Please continue to monitor alerts issued by the Canadian Hurricane Center and forecasts issued by Environment Canada. And now we're going to look at the warnings for Machias, Maine. So a tropical storm warning in this area. A tropical storm warning means tropical storm force winds are expected somewhere within this area within the next 36 hours. Locations affected: Eastport, Machias, Cherryfield. Wind, latest local forecast. Equivalent tropical storm force wind. Peak wind forecast 30 to 40 miles per hour with gusts to 60 miles per hour window for tropical storm force winds Saturday morning until early Sunday morning. Threat to life and property that includes typical forecast, uncertainty in track size and intensity, potential for wind 58 to 73 miles per hour. The wind threat has remained nearly steady from the previous assessment. Plan for dangerous wind of equivalent strong tropical storm force. Prepare efforts to protect life and property should now be underway. Prepare for significant wind damage. Act now to complete preparations before the wind becomes hazardous. Potential impacts significant. Some damage to roofing and siding materials, along with damage to porches, awnings, carports, and sheds. A few buildings experiencing window, door, and garage door failures. Mobile homes damage, especially if unanchored. Unsecured lightweight objects become dangerous projectiles. Several large trees snapped or uprooted, but with greater numbers in places where trees are shallow rooted. Several fences and roadway signs blown over, some roads impassable from large debris, and more some urban or heavily wooded places. A few bridges, causeways, and access routes impassable. Scattered power and communication outages, but with more prevalent in areas with above ground lines. Storm surge, latest local forecast, localized storm surge possible, peak storm surge inundation, potential for 1 to 3 feet above ground, somewhere within surge-prone areas. Wind of concern Friday evening and a Saturday evening, threat to life and property that includes typical forecast, uncertainty in track size intensity, potential for storm surge flooding greater than 1 foot above ground. The storm surge threat has remained nearly steady from the previous assessment. Plan for storm surge flooding greater than 1 foot above ground. Prepare complete preparations for storm surge flooding, especially in low-lying vulnerable areas, before conditions become unsafe. Act. Leave immediately if evacuation orders are given for your area. Potential impacts. Limited. Localized inundation with storm surge flooding mainly along immediate shorelines and low-lying areas along rivers that are tidal influenced. Sections of near shore roads and parking lots become overspread with surge water. Driving conditions dangerous in places where surge water begins to cover roads. This includes Deer Isle Causeway, Main Street and Machias, and Starboard Cove Road. High dangerous surf and strong rip currents will make for hazardous surf conditions. Minor to locally moderate damage to marinas, docks, and piers. A few small craft broken away from warnings. Flooding rain, latest local forecast. Peak rainfall amounts, additional 2 to 4 inches with locally higher amounts. Threat to life and property that includes typical forecast uncertainty in track size and intensity. Potential for moderate flooding rain. The flooding rain threat has remained nearly steady from the previous assessment. Emergency plans should include the potential for moderate flooding from heavy rain. Evacuations and rescues are possible. Consider protective actions if you are in an area vulnerable to flooding. Heed any flood watches and warnings. Failure to take action may result in serious injury or loss of life. Potential impacts significant. Moderate rainfall flooding may prompt several evacuations and rescues. Rainfall in rivers and tributaries may quickly become swollen with swifter currents and overspill their banks in a few places, especially in usual vulnerable spots. Small streams, creeks, canals, arroyos, sorry if I said that wrong, excuse me, and just as overflow. Floodwaters can enter some structures or weaken foundations. Several places may experience expanded areas of rapid inundation at underpasses, low-lying spots, and poor drained areas. Some streets and parking lots may take on moving water as storm drains and retention ponds overflow. Driving conditions become hazardous. Some road and bridge closures. Tornadoes, latest local forecast situation is unfavorable for tornadoes. Tornadoes are not expected. The tornado threat has, threat to life and property that includes typical forecast and 13 track side intensity. Tornadoes are not expected. The tornado threat has remained nearly steady from the previous assessment plan. Tornadoes are not expected. Showers and thunderstorms, gusty winds may still occur. Prepare a little no preparation needed to protect against tornadoes at this time. Keep informed on the latest tornado situation. Act, listen for change in forecast. Potential impacts, little and none, little and no potential impacts from tornadoes. For more information, go to this website right here. We also have a coastal flood warning from Friday 11 p.m. until Saturday 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that's probably going to go into effect 11 p.m. tomorrow. And the affected area is coastal Hancock and coastal Washington counties. What for the coastal flood warning overwash is expected for large breaking waves along the coast. These waves may cause minor inundation along low-lying areas exposed to waves and tidal influence. For the high surf advisory tonight and early Friday, large breaking waves of 4 to 6 feet in the surf zone, where coastal Hancock and coastal Washington counties. For coastal flood warning from 11 p.m. Friday to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Saturday for the high surf advisory until noon Eastern Daylight Time Friday. Impacts Machias, Seawall Road on Mount Desert Island, Schooldick Point, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Deer Isle Causeway, and other low-lying tidal-influenced areas, including around Leebeck and Eastport, may experience minor to moderate inundation and overwash. Greatest concerns is for the Saturday high tide near noon. High dangerous surf and strong rip currents will make for hazardous surf conditions. Large waves can present a danger to people on rocks above the water. Stay away from rock outcrops along the shoreline exposed to ocean waves, as waves can easily sweep people into the cold ocean water. Precautionary preparedness actions: take necessary action to protect flood-prone property. If travel is required, do not drive around barricades or through water of unknown depth. Remember the saying, you see water, turn around, don't drown. A high surf advisory means that high surf will affect beaches in the advisory area, producing rip currents and localized beach erosion. And then high surf advisory affect areas coastal Hancock and coastal Washington counties. Description: high surf advisory remains in effect until noon Eastern Daylight Time Friday. Coastal flood warning is in effect from 11 p.m. Friday to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Saturday, which is the one we just read off. For the coastal flood warning, overwash is expected for large breaking waves along the coast. These waves may cause minor inundation along the line areas exposed to waves and tidal influence. For the high surf advisory tonight and early Friday, large breaking waves of 4 to 6 feet in the surf zone where coastal Hancock and coastal Washington counties. For the coastal flood warning from 11 p.m. Friday to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Saturday. For the high surf advisory until noon Eastern Daylight Time Friday. Impacts Machias, Seawall Road on Mount Desert Island, Schooldick Point, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Deer Isle Causeway, and other low-lying tidal-influenced areas, including around Lubeck and Eastport, may experience minor to moderate inundation and overwash. Greatest concerns is for the Saturday high tide near noon. High dangerous surf and strong rip currents will make for hazardous surf conditions. Large waves can present a danger to people on rocks above the water. Stay away from rock outcrops along the shoreline exposed to ocean waves, as waves can easily sweep people into the cold ocean water. Precautionary preparedness actions: take necessary actions to protect flood-prone property. If travel is required, do not drive around barricades or through water of unknown depth. A high surf advisory means that high surf will affect beaches in the advisory area, producing rip currents and localized beach erosion. Just thinking you drink water, everyone. But been streaming for over an hour now. So I hope that all of you have enjoyed this live stream. And please definitely do stay safe out there as always. If you're told to evacuate, please definitely do so. Listen to all local authorities and officials. Take all watching the warning seriously. If you see flood roads, remember, turn around, don't drown. If you are trapped in your home from flooding, try to go to the highest level of your home. Maybe even possibly like the roof and stuff. And obviously, call emergency services. It's also good to make like a first aid kit or plan an emergency kit. As well. Blanket, non-perishable food, water, chargers for electronic devices. Because there also is a possibility of several power outages, communication outages, as well. And also, it's a good idea to also again, blankets, non-perishable foods, flashlights, batteries, water, just basic basic hygiene, just basic hygiene, soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, maybe bring a passport, maybe some IDs, maybe some important documents with you, or also a good idea as well. Writing down phone numbers, and also, and also, please don't drive on the roads as well, especially while this is going on, because heavy rains, heavy wind. There's possibly going to be a lot of it's going to be really dangerous to drive during this because of all the rain, water, again, storm surge, a bunch of flooding. Remember, if you slow roads, turn around, don't drown. And there could be a bunch of power lines and trees down, a bunch of communication outages. There might even be in the road possibly. So yeah, this is going to be very hazardous to drive in. So please recommend don't drive unless it's an emergency. And please, and maybe even, and if there is an emergency, definitely do call emergency services. But definitely, please, take all proper precautions and actions to keep you safe and everyone else safe. Listen to all local authorities and officials in the area. And if you're told to evacuate, please do so and take all the precautions and get your preparations done. Get your preparations done probably by tomorrow, because probably by tomorrow, maybe by tomorrow morning would be good, because some areas they're not gonna. Hurricane Lee doesn't really look like it's really gonna hit them until until the nighttime or in the morning. Some it looks like it's later in the evening, around 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Around 6, 7 o'clock. But please definitely do stay safe out there as always from this storm. And I'll see all of you next time. Definitely do stay safe out there as always. And I'll see all of you next time. Bye, everyone.